Sure. This film is set in a place called Manchester by the Sea, and it sort of takes place over two time periods. There's the present, and then there are some things that happened in the past to Lee, my character. Some time ago, I was married to Michelle's character, Michelle Williams, and there was a terrible tragedy in the family that some people felt I may have been responsible for. I feel like I might have been responsible for in some way. And it led to the kind of separation from Michelle Williams, and I left town. And then after some time, my brother died, and I come back to town to take care of his son, who's played by Lucas Hedges. And this town, Manchester by the Sea, is the last place that I want to be because it stirs up so many terrible memories for me. And because there are so many people there who believe that I'm, have some opinion about me being a bad person or having been responsible for this tragedy. And it's a barrel of laughs. Oh, that was the best. Many days I would come to set, and it would be there'd be really hard scenes, really heavy subject matter, and it was you spend most of the day feeling sad, and then you come back and do it again. And then there were moments when, mostly as you point out, with Lucas Hedges and a few with Michelle Williams, where it was really funny. The writing is great. It's very sharp. It doesn't feel jokey. It's really my kind of comedy. It's you don't have to have a big, broad, silly thing to make me laugh. I like these kinds of laughs much more when they're situational and it feels like real people. Yeah, I'm not sure. There were a few people involved in the story, and they sort of hired Kenny to write it.
Yeah.
And which is a pretty smart move. He's one of the very best that you can get, and so. He came on and they had just a seed of an idea, and then he wrote something, really extraordinary.
Particularly well.
I know. I don't think he's ever been there. It's amazing. It really is. I mean, just goes to show you that, he wrote a movie, You Can Count on Me, in upstate New York, and he wrote Margaret, which is set in New York City, and very different people, and he's written plays that are set in the South somewhere, and they all sound really like they were written by someone who spent their life there listening to people talk. So you might think, he just has a great ear. But I think that he's sort of tapped into something more universal, which is just how all people talk, and it doesn't really matter the provincialisms of accent or slang or the rhythm here or there are the kinds of things that you can just sort of pick up. And really what's important in the writing is the story you're telling and how you treat your characters and depict them and their struggles and so forth. I don't know how he does it. It's like magic, but he does it. And all of the characters always seem like very complicated, very real, funny, sad, complete people. Yeah, I think there's a scene with my character Az where he's talking to the police after this tragedy in his family, and he's and they just let him go, and he doesn't want to be let go because he feels responsible. And they say, "Listen, you made a mistake, the kind of mistake that probably 100 other people made that this weekend, and you just were unlucky." So it's not really something he did that was malicious. It was just the kind of sort of thoughtless, the way that all people sort of cut corners a little bit throughout their day. You go through a yellow light, you just hope you don't kill somebody.
Completely.
I mean, there are a lot of ways to prepare for a character, and sometimes you kind of you have to focus on the thing that is your weakest point, So if I were playing someone who had spent 10 years living in the Amazon, well, I'd better go there and figure out how to survive in the Amazon. In this case, I knew the area. I didn't have to go and spend time there. I knew the accent. I knew sort of how people lived and so forth. And as you point out, I had this incredibly well-written blueprint, and I could rely on the text. I knew that it worked. I knew that that they weren't going to find holes in the logic of the story or the scenes or the character. So the only thing that I had to do was kind of show up on set and be able to be in the right emotion, be feeling the right thing in a believable way. So that if my scene that day is to go and and go make sure that my brother's body, that's my brother, and say goodbye to the body and so forth. That I'm, sounds sort of stupid, but I'm not in a sort of like, good mood. You got to show up there, and you got to be ready to sort of be upset and have it be believable and real. So in some cases, in some way, it was a very easy job for me because I could just have to focus on that one thing. I had total faith in Kenny. I knew that all the other actors were great. I just had to sort of be able to inhabit the emotion of the character. Hello, this is Lee.
兄の突然の死。
Well, I can't be his guardian.
Well, your brother provided for your nephew's upkeep. I think the idea was that you would relocate.
Relocate to where?
Well, if you
Here?
look...
戻ってきた。忘れたかったこの街へ。
Where are we going, to the orphanage?
Shut up. Get in the car.
Can't obey your orders until you unlock the door.
So that's the elite chain,
I'm just a backup.
Lee, nobody can appreciate what you've been through.
心に突き刺さったままの壮絶な過去の悲劇とは。
I said a lot of terrible things to you. My heart was broken, but I know yours is broken too.
No, you don't understand. There's nothing there.
You don't want to be my guardian? That's fine with me. All my friends are here. I got 2 girlfriends, and I'm in a band. You're a janitor in Quincy. What the hell do you care where you live? I think there's something wrong with me.
Do you want me to call your friends? What do you want me to do?
心も涙も美しかった思い出も全てを置いてきたこの街でまた歩き始める。マンチェスター・バイ・ザ・シー。